I keep running stuff in the background, and I have to turn this stuff off. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna turn some of this stuff off here in the background, and we'll come back to it. So that we're not killing the stream here with the data pull. Let me see. Turn some of this off, some of that off. This should help the stream speed up. I was just telling Trader Podcast that there's a fair chance one of my daughters is upstairs playing like Xbox on like 1080p or something. I probably shouldn't say that, but we're back again though. I apologize for you guys out there. We're trying this new format here, and we're running into some walls as we do it. All right, so continue on again, Trader Podcast.
No,
you got the floor, brother.
I had a question. I think it was from CTAX. I'm sorry if I'm getting that name wrong. I'm trying to find that question again. But I was asked for a downside target. So the downside target, if we just go by the overlay, is, so we're going to be at about 123% extension. That's where this is. And then this is about 116. So 120, let's go 123. 123 to 16. It's a 7% correction in like 4 or 5 days. So
say that again for people so they can hear you.
Okay, so I was asked like what my downside target would be. So I'm like looking at this overlay to kind of guide me.
Is that after the 4 to 5% push higher?
Yes.
That's right. So you'd slam back down into 5,000, possibly go a little bit lower, right?
Possibly a little bit lower and around 4,900, 4,950 maybe. But like as we get closer to the date, these things, because I run this every night, it like scans and changes and adjusts everything and like does the overlay like at the end of every night, after every trading day. So we'll get a better indication of what to target. But right now, like everything, even by the way, after that happens, that's another dip to buy for the next 20 trading days. And then we chop down and then we go up, which is kind of expected too. And the reason why I'm saying this is whether that's kind of expected, because you think about what's happening on the economy side, on the macro side. Macro does not impact your day-to-day, but it does impact trends to a little bit. So I don't really care about macro, but the fact is that we have some stuff and some hangover to take care of. Plus we have an election year. So I would expect like a slam down, get bought back up, and then kind of like chop towards like July, in all honesty. And so first half of July, I would just long NQ is what my plan is going to be, is just buy the Qs and just like sit on it for a while. So anyways, that's kind of all the stuff I had like kind of wanted to talk about. Now that I'm going to be in the Discord, I am going to, at the end of every day when I generate these, I'll drop these in there. I'll probably work on some formatting to make these better.
We'll talk about what I can do too is get you a page if you want on the website and a room for discussion. So if people have questions for you and stuff like that, but we'll set something up for you to make it nice. So it's not, Discord is good for a lot of stuff, but it's kind of like data drops, so they just get rolled up into the chat and stuff like that. So like warehousing that stuff is sometimes better on a website. Right. So I was talking to Bork about getting you an author invite to the website and stuff like that. And we'll talk about all the other stuff that goes along with that. Do you guys have anything for Trader Podcast? You want to thank him for coming on the show today? Do you have any further questions before we go? I think we're going to take a break here and watch the market. Looks like we're at some fair resistance, so it might be a place for us to take a break and a quick breather. So first off, I want you to follow at Trader Podcast. It's TraderPodcaste on Twitter. Also, what was your handle again on Wall Street Bets or on Reddit? What's your handle there, Trader Podcast?
Trade the Zones.
Trade the Zones. Find him and follow him on Reddit as well.
I don't really post a lot other than in my private subreddit. It's other than a private subreddit. It's not my private subreddit, but that's where I usually hang out. But Twitter is the best place to get a hold of me, or once I'm in Caps Discord, ping me. I'm usually like very responsive. If it's a question, I can answer, and if it's not, I'll tell you. Or if it's something that I need time to answer, I'll tell you that too. But anyways, thank you so much, Cap. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate having you on, brother, today. People love seeing you come on the show, so I'm really grateful that you're here. I will get back with you, Trader Podcast, today in the next hour or two. Maybe I'll chat with you after here. I'll take a quick break, and
Gotcha.
we'll do some catch up really quick. People are thanking
great.
you to be here today. I appreciate you being here today as well. And
My pleasure.
I'm
My
gonna
pleasure.
head back over now. I'm gonna end the call with you, Trader Podcast. I'll give you a shout in just a moment. Thanks for showing up, brother. You want to say goodbye?
Yeah, thank you for having me again. And before I leave, I just want you to see they're bidding the shit out of SPX right now. Look at all that gamma that just rolled in. So it's bear squeeze season, fellas. And that kind of goes with what I would have expected, because this is last night. I would have expected the long ramp to begin today, right now.
Right
So
now, the big
hopefully,
ramp is today. You're getting it
yeah.
live and straight from Trader Podcast that we're going straight to the moon. I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm going to put you guys back on the main screen and take a quick break. You guys can have a discussion inside of the comments. Thanks, Trader Podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
All right, bye. And the call for everyone. Here we go. So let me see if I can bring this stuff over. And we've got Trader Podcast saying that today is the beginning of the ramp before the correction begins. So if you caught that towards the end today, the expectation here is that we're going to go way higher. This is just the beginning today. Hold on one second here. Whoop, right up there. I just got kicked off Twitter, too. Twitter was like, you have a suspicious login. We're going to kick you off. So I just got booted off Twitter. Hold on one second here. Let's keep on squeeze and spooze. I got to do some work here in the background for you guys. I'm going to bring this down. Looks like Trader Podcast is joining us in the stream right now, or in the chat right now. So we'll make this bigger for you so you can see him chatting with the group. We move that over. I think that works over there just like that, right? So you guys can see the chat at home. Now, before I go, I deleted a bunch of instances of TradingView down here. If you have any, I've got IWM up right now. I'm going to add some more here. I'm going to do the Qs here for you. So I'm going to do QQQ. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is Apple, I guess. I'm still having issues here. Let me turn this off back here. I'm still having some issues here. So here's Apple. I'm trying to reload this one for you right now. Yeah, I'm still having issues here. Here we go. We're coming back right now, I guess. Am I losing the show again? Are you fucking... Am I losing the show again? It doesn't look like I am. Looks like we're still up and running. I'm like, are we losing the show again? Here we go. Apple's app back up and running again. We're good to go on this one. And let me see here. Let me put SPX up. Here's SPX in a 30-minute chart down below for you. There's IWM. IWM, dude, looking like it wants to go back up there and trade 205 again. There's SPX for you in the 30-minute, trying to once again attack 5100. Blow this up for you again. A little bit of range-bound action here on SPX. Stream is good now. I just started killing a bunch of action stuff in the background. And I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go walk around my house and make sure that I'm gonna make sure I don't have people like playing on stuff. Hold on 1 second here. I'm gonna take a quick break and just check. NVDA. That's eBay. We already had that one. So we got Apple, IWM, SPX. We're gonna do NVDA for you. I know you guys love that ticker. Put this on a 1 minute. Squeeze above the hourly trigger, came back down and confirmed NVDA with a nice confirmation on the hourly trigger down here. Can you guys make a comment on the stream if everything is okay? Hey, Recovering Bearholic, how are you? All right, so I'm going to take a quick break here, and I'll be back with you guys in about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes. I got one more thing I got to do here. Pull that down over there. And I'll be right back with you guys.
Increase in nearly 3 years, but pending sales for that period dropped 8%. So there's your mortgage rate effect, Dom.
Diana, there's been some anecdotal reporting done with regard to certain of those so-called past and current hot real estate markets, places like Arizona, places like Florida, where there are stories about an uptick in the number of listings that people are starting to see. That's not official data, but just, residents and real estate brokers in the area. Do you think that there is an unlocking for the spring season coming, that people are ready to put their houses on the market if mortgage rates cooperate?
Well, there's a slight unlocking only because, we're coming up on March, and that is the all-important spring market, and that's when people list their homes for sale. So we see that seasonally every year. We still need a lot more homes on the market, and we're not going to see the kind of inventory uptick that we really need. We've seen this increase, but when you're coming off of these record low inventory levels, you have to give a lot more than that in order to have a robust selling season. And a lot of sellers are saying, with mortgage rates in the 7% range now, it's going to be harder for me to get a buyer. Am I going to have to give incentives, buy down their mortgage rate, et cetera, in order to get a buyer? Or on the other side, do I want to sell my house when 7% is out there and I need to buy another house at that rate, and I've got 2.5% from a couple of years ago? So there's a lot holding today's seller back, but it is the spring, so you will see some houses come on the market everywhere.
If you're not in love with your house, you're in love with your mortgage. Dinah Oleg, thank you very much. We'll talk to you later on. Coming up on the show, Morgan Stanley is getting more bullish on one area of commercial real estate where supply can't keep up with demand. And no, it's not tied to artificial intelligence. The sector and their top picks coming up next. Plus, Titleist's parent company, Acushnet, not seeing much green today on weaker than expected results, but the stock's coming off its best year since the start of the pandemic. And we've got a rare and exclusive interview with the Acushnet CEO coming up. The Exchange is back after this.
This is The Exchange on CNBC.
a trial.
Welcome back to The Exchange. While the office sector has been hit hard, our next guest says that keep in mind that's only a small part of the real estate investment trust sector. She sees big opportunities elsewhere, and she's here with the trends and the trades and where she's seeing some of the biggest upside potential. So joining me now for more on this is Laurel Durkee, the head of global listed real estate assets, real assets at Morgan Stanley Investment Management. Laurel, real is a lot. There's a lot of stuff that constitutes real assets, but the one people most identify with is real estate, is the land, the buildings, and everything else.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about where those opportunities are. We just spent a whole segment or two talking about rates and their impact on places like residential. What does it mean for the overall commercial side of things?
Obviously, interest rates are going to have a significant impact on all of real estate, commercial and residential. What I'm seeing is that the interest rate environment and the volatility in the interest rate environment has really been impacting the pricing of these stocks. But when you look at the fundamentals in a lot of the sectors that I'm investing in remain very strong. And that's where I'm excited. Interest rates, I cannot control. And I think there is a growing consensus around the fact that we absolutely will see rate cuts at the latter half of this year. The fundamentals is what I'm focused on and where I believe we can differentiate and really add alpha.
Outside of your primary residence, people are maybe a little bit scared, maybe apprehensive to go into real estate, whether at the multifamily, industrial type level, commercial level, warehouse. Where exactly is the opportunity right now, given the fact that rates are maybe a little uncertain?
So the underlying sectoral composition of the listed real estate universe is a lot larger than just the traditional that you would think of. It's not just office, it's not just multifamily. So what I'm excited about is in some of the alternative sectors. And the alternative sectors really are inclusive of data centers and healthcare real estate and cell towers and self-storage and some of these areas of real estate that have secular drivers of demand.
What's interesting about that is they have already been some of the outperformers so far when it comes to real estate. You're talking about office complexes that are owned by REITs that specialize in laboratory and factory type facilities for healthcare. You're talking about maybe even senior living. Where exactly? What kind of stocks? Are there picks that you like more than others?
So I think focusing specifically on healthcare. The seniors housing sector is an area that has a significant amount of demand that is manifesting itself as we speak. When you take a step back and think about aging demographics within this country, baby boomers right now are aged between 60 and 78. They are approaching the prime age to move into seniors housing facilities. So a name that really plays into this aging demographic theme is Welltower, ticker WELL.
By the way, Laurel, just hold that thought because, by the way, that was our mystery chart. If you're wondering, we kind of showed you that mystery chart. It is Welltower. And by the way, the senior housing thing is something we've talked about quite a bit demographically, trend-wise. You mentioned that timeline. Is that going to cause an even bigger jump in your mind over the next few years in the stock values?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when you think about the aging demographic, over the last decade, the 80-plus-year-old age cohort grew at about 1.5%. There were 2 million additional people added to that age cohort. Look at the next decade. It's growing at about 4.5%. That's 8 million more people. So that demand is continuing to grow. 2027 is a year that is really going to see the most amount of explosive growth. We're at a point in time when new supply into the seniors housing space is actually decelerating. And so we have the supply-demand imbalance that all real estate investors love. Because what that means is that you will see growth and you will see continued cash flow appreciation and therefore value appreciation.
Now, there's also on that same healthcare kind of aging demographic side, there are also real estate investment trusts that specialize in laboratory type facilities, you know, owning those commercial type facilities. Is healthcare thematically, besides just seniors, going to be something drug companies, pharmaceutical companies, and the facilities they need?
So we do have life sciences, which do own labs as part of the real estate universe. At the coincident point in time, what you're seeing is that lab space have a significant oversupply. And so there is a bit of a different dynamic going on. The underlying need, obviously, for lab and life science space is going to continue to grow. And over the long term, I think is a favorable area to be in. But at the current time is not something that I'm super excited about. However, when you look, for example, in the skilled nursing area, rehab area, which is more short-term stays for seniors, that's an area that I think is going to continue to have really robust fundamentals at its back and have that supply-demand imbalance.
And because we have an expert like you here, I don't want to let you go without talking a little bit about residential housing, the housing shortage in America right now. Is there anything market-wise that can happen where people can position themselves for an outcome one way or the other, given the housing shortage in America?
So housing shortages and affordability is absolutely a problem. We are at multi-decade lows when it comes to affordability. A way in which I think you can benefit from that from an investment perspective is investing within single-family rentals. So this is an area that has been institutionalized over really the past decade, coming out of the global financial crisis. And you have a company like AMH, which was formerly known as American Homes for Rent and now is just called AMH, which is really benefiting from the need for Americans to have an affordable place to live. And the cash flow growth that you're seeing out of this company really is very extreme.
All right, so all different parts of real estate covered. Laurel Durkee, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, coming up on the show, OpenAI and Sam Altman are back in the spotlight after reportedly coming under scrutiny from the SEC. We've got those details ahead. The Exchange is back after this. Welcome back to The Exchange. The hack into Change Healthcare, the tech subsidiary of United Health Group, continues to disrupt hospitals and pharmacies across the country. The health department reportedly working with UNH to assess the impact on patient care as well. And this as we're getting new numbers looking at the cost of ransomware attacks in the past year. Our own Eamon Javers has those details.
Hey there, Dom. Ransomware has come roaring back, and the volume of ransom payments to criminals from hacking victims set a new record in 2023, surpassing $1 billion for the first time. Take a look at this chart from blockchain analysis firm Chainalysis, which just put out their annual report on crypto crime today. You see a dramatic drop in ransomware payments there from criminals from 2021 to 2022, which experts say is largely attributable to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which disrupted criminal hacking gangs operating in both countries. But then at the right-hand side of the chart, in 2023, the payments rocketed back up to a new high of $1.1 billion, which Chainalysis says is due to a large influx of new players into the space. Other analysts have also suggested that the Russians and Ukrainians have been able to regroup themselves a little bit since the early days of the war. And part of what's driving that new high, Chainalysis said, is a new emphasis on very large ransom payments, with the share of $1 million plus ransom surging even as the smaller payouts decline, as you can see on this chart here. That means the bad guys are able to generate more revenue with less work. And one piece of good news in all this, though, Dom, total cryptocurrency value received by illicit addresses is way down. Now, that's a grab bag category that includes things beyond just ransomware, including sanctions violations, terrorist finance, child sexual abuse material, other terrible activities on the internet. The figure for all illicit addresses was $39.6 billion in 2022. That drops to $24.2 billion in 2023. Why is that? Well, it's in part because Chainalysis counts the $8.7 billion in creditor claims against collapsed crypto exchange FTX in their 2022 number, which drives up the total for that year. So, you know, depending on how you count it, though, things look a little bit better than they did before, Dom. Back over to you.
All right, Eamon Javers with the latest there. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of cybersecurity, let's get some show and tell here, where we show you a chart and then tell you the story. Okta shares are spiking 20% after the cybersecurity giant beat earnings and revenue estimates and posted strong guidance. Now, as a result, Bank of America is double upgrading that stock from underperform to a buy rating and boosting its target price from $64 all the way up to $165. Here's what the CEO told money movers about the ramp up they're seeing in those cyber attacks.
In the last 30 days, we've blocked over 2 billion malicious attacks against our customer base. We're not always perfect, and we're trying to improve that and get better, but the big picture story is that identity-based attacks are a very serious problem. Over the many years ahead, we're going to be a $5 billion and $10 billion company, and we're confident that we can continue to grow to those levels and also deliver profitability.
All right, cyber, a big focus. Now let's send it over to Tyler Matheson for a CNBC News update. Hi, Ty.
Dom, thank you very much. New York Attorney General Letitia James investigating the cause of last week's AT&T service outage and its response. The phone service provider said over the weekend that it would provide billing credits to those who were impacted by the outage that lasted for almost 12 hours, though it didn't say exactly how many individuals lost service. Senator John Cornyn of Texas announced he will run to replace Mitch McConnell as the Senate's top Republican. The Texas senator had long been considered a possible successor to that leadership position, but McConnell's surprise announcement yesterday jump-started the race for a successor. And you could own a piece of the iconic TV series The Sopranos. The booth at Holston's Ice Cream Shop and Diner. I go there all the time. Well, not all the time, but often enough. The final scene of the series was filmed there. The booth is being put up for auction on eBay. Done so last night to help fund the diner's renovations. Bids had already topped $30,000 by noon today. Dominic, they have really good ice cream there, great candies, and terrific grilled cheese sandwiches. I recommend it.
Two thumbs up from Tyler Matheson there.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Ty. We'll see you later on. I want to draw your attention right now to shares of Xcel Energy, the firm flagging it received a letter from a law firm saying the utility could be liable for damages resulting from the Smokehouse Creek fire, which is now the largest Texas wildfire on record. Those shares, you can see, they're down by roughly 8% in intraday trading. Coming up on the show, it's the biggest publicly traded golf company in America that you've probably never heard of. A rare and exclusive interview with the CEO of the parent company of Titleist. The company is called Acushnet, on the business of golf, the consumer, and the pending deal between the PGA Tour and LIV, possibly. That's next after this break. Welcome back to The Exchange. Shares of Acushnet Holdings, this is the company behind huge golf brands like Titleist, lower today on a wider than expected loss and a revenue miss for the quarter. But those Titleist golf balls were a bright spot for that report and for Acushnet overall. So far this year, 7 out of 8 winners on PGA Tour events this year have used those Titleist golf balls. Joining me now for an exclusive interview and his CNBC debut is Acushnet CEO David Marr. David, thank you very much for being here with us, and I cannot help but see how you are framed there. You are at one of your U.S. golf ball manufacturing facilities. Can you take us through why you're there and how significant golf balls are to the Titleist and Acushnet business?
Yeah, nice to speak with you today, Dom. I am at Titleist Ball Plant 3 in New Bedford, Massachusetts. You said it, the Acushnet company is the parent of Titleist and FootJoy. And the origin of the company goes back to the 1930s. The company was founded up the street at Ball Plant 1. And today we manufacture golf balls in Ball Plant 3, which you see behind me. This particular plant makes Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. We're running 24/7, have been for quite some time, to keep pace with brisk demand. Up the road at Ball Plant 2, we make the rest of our product lines as well. So we thought it appropriate, if we're going to speak to you and your audience today, to do so from Ball Plant 3 here in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
David, the stock right now is not exactly, I'm sure, what you would like to see given the results that you reported out there. It was a disappointing report, but golf balls and the Titleist brand specifically were a standout there. Can you take us through the positioning of Titleist from a brand, from a golf ball perspective, a golf club and equipment perspective, and what your expectations are for 2024, given where your stock is trading today?
Yeah, and we look at our performance in 2023 as a great success. Our business up over 40% in the last couple of years, and we put forth our guide today, which we see as real positive.
Just a heads up here, not toppy yet. You're coming back to do a 5-minute back check on that 5-minute trigger. You first want, if we're gonna roll here, you want to see. You want to see the confirmation of the roll. So you're looking for price to come down here, right? Break below, right? And then the failure by bulls here. Like right here is where that failure takes place. Your percentage win rate down here is much higher than taking this trade right here. You want to wait for it to develop. If you see this action start down here, then you start getting more aggressive in a put. Or if you're going to get aggressive up here, you have really tight stops to the upside right here if you're super bearish here.
Last year, that's about 150 million rounds per year more than we saw in 2019. So the game is healthy, the industry is healthy. We really feel good about our results from last year, and we think we carry nice momentum into 2024.
David, I think a lot of golfers out there in the audience know just who you guys are and what you do, but maybe some people are surprised to know that Acushnet is now the biggest by market value, pure play, publicly traded golf equipment company in the marketplace in America. You've had a fairly steady climb since the pandemic lows, driven by the COVID wave of golf popularity. Some of your other competitors have seen some of that wave, but also seen some volatility as well. Why do you think your business has performed perhaps in a different manner from a volatility perspective than some of your other competitors out there?
Yeah, as I said, our business up over 40% in the last couple of years. And the first thing we tell people about our business is you need to understand our target consumer. It's the game's dedicated player. They're avid, they're passionate, they play a lot in good times, they play in bad times. They're not recession proof, but they're certainly recession resilient. And as I said, we're coming off a year in 2023 where record rounds of play in the US and around the world. So a lot to be optimistic about in the world of golf. And I think we get credit for our focus on premium golf balls, premium golf clubs, our efforts to fit golfers, whether it's balls, whether it's clubs, whether it's footwear. I think it resonates with our golfers and certainly has resonated with investors over the years, today notwithstanding.
Well, David, do you feel as though, given all of that popularity and surge, there is anything to be made of what's happening right now in the world of professional golf, arguably where it's the most visible? A growing rift between professional golfers, between the PGA Tour and the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tour. There seemed to be some progress in deal making and maybe not at the same time. Do you think the game is going to be in a good place given what we're seeing in terms of the friction?
Just a heads up here, as we come into the 2 o'clock hour, you already know at that 1:30 to 2 p.m., you see the fuckery inside of the market. So just be aware, we have 15 minutes left until we hit that 2 o'clock hour.
Moves of the PGA Tour and SSG. I think that's a terrific partnership, and I think the fan's going to win from that. SSG brings a whole lot of expertise that complements the Tour's many expertises. And again, I think it's going to be a win for fans. And then the next step is what happens with Live and the PGA Tour. And by all accounts, they're certainly asking to both sides realize the importance of finding unification, bringing players together more often. And I think both sides realize the value and importance of doing that. They haven't done it yet, but from what we hear and what we're hearing out of the tours, that's certainly a priority for both sides. So we're optimistic long term. And again, I'll point to the recent move by the tour as a really important first step in their alliance with the Strategic Sports Group.
All right. Well, Acushnet shares hit a record high on Friday, post-IPO in 2016, down 7% right now. David, thank you so much for being here with us in your CNBC debut. We hope you'll join us again in the future.
Thanks, Dom. Nice to see you.
All right, good to see you too. Well, coming up on the show, Sam Altman's brief ouster from OpenAI catching the attention of the SEC, what regulators are looking for, and what it could mean for Altman's future at the company. That's coming up next.
I'll be back with you guys in just about 13 minutes here. About 13 minutes. I'll be right back with you guys. I'm going to stop inside the Discord real quick and just check on everybody, see how everybody's doing inside the Discord. Let me see if I can share with you guys something here. Give me one quick second here. Let's take a look at, can I show my screen here? What can I show here? Can I, like, bring this stuff to the side here and maybe show it? Let's see. So tomorrow, let me see if I can show you my screen really quick. So tomorrow we're gonna take a peek at some rooms, some channels on our Discord. Hold on here.
Welcome back. The SEC is.
So we've got in the Discord here. If you are in the Discord, right, we have bots and alerts here, so you can see all of these. We've got socials, pro trader rooms down below here on the left-hand side. So you can see all of these things here. This is where we day trade inside of this pro trader chat. And then what I want to, or tomorrow if we have time. So if we have time tomorrow, we're going to try to go through some of the bots and alerts. We have OpenBB. We then have Unusual Whales bot right here. That has a nice interface. And then we have TradyTix that posts alerts, and you can also interact with the bot. So that'll be something that we look forward to tomorrow. We're seeing all the top bullish flows here and bearish flows. TradyTix AI bot is in here telling us about the call versus put flows, outside the money versus inside the money stuff, buys and sells. So SPY flow summary here. Below that, we have TradyTix bullseye alerts. This one right here, what I like best about these bullseye alerts is checking it against, checking these trades against the triggers. So if we're, let's say we're coming back and testing a 3-trigger bull cluster, and a trade comes in for Dell, let's say, or is Dell in blasting down right now on triggers and velocity and doesn't look good. I've had some good success using these bullseye ideas, and I've also had some good success with some of there's another one in here with golden options and flow. So golden sweeps down here. This one right here I've had good luck with. So we've tested these in the past. If you have these in front of you, take a look at them. If you're inside the Discord, make sure you're popping in to these rooms. What you can do is, I think Bork was saying earlier, well, number one, we pinned to the top of the page instructions on how to use the bots and alerts. And then if you collapse the category, only when a new alert comes in will it pop up for you over here on the left. So if you're collapsing a category, only when a new alert comes through will you see it. So if you wanted to click through it, see how it disappears once you've seen the alert. Then below that, we've got analyst grades for individual tickers from Tradie Ticks as well. Excuse me. Then we've got the insider trading. Right now, you're seeing insider selling. Excuse me. For ALSN. Then we have the Tradie Ticks crypto bot down below, giving you insights as well for possible trades. And then we've got the Tradie Ticks general down below here with option sweep information. You see some large put orders right now for Nike expiring on July 19th. You see AMD call strike sweeps coming in. We were talking about AMD earlier. This came in at 1:44 p.m. right now. Or earlier this afternoon. So if this is available, these are all premium bots. I paid for the like the best ones I could get, whatever they had on offer. So if you are in the Discord, you don't need to be a pro subscriber or anything. If you are just a supporter, you can have access to those bots. If you see these bots are coming up, don't hesitate to ask or discuss with people what their thoughts are on any of these sweeps that come in on the Discord. Go back over here really quick. Back to the general chat and check in. Getting tighter. I got a couple things I got to do. Wonder why that chat box is now not staying on anymore. I got to find out why it's taking time to regenerate. Might be reaching a limit or something. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Yeah, the chat, they're still open now. All right, so I'm going to go right back to a break. I'll be back with you guys in just a minute here. Put that on right there. And you guys are good to go.
Welcome back to The Exchange. We're trading AI today in computers and chips and kale salads. Dell, NetApp, and Sweetgreen are the subject of today's earnings exchange. And here with our trade is Delano Saporu, New Street Advisors founder and CEO. He's also a CNBC contributor. We're going to kick things off with Dell, the share price more than doubling over the past year despite weaker PC demand. Loop Capital is seeing catalysts in artificial intelligence, which could drive PC demand and increase enterprise spend on Dell's server offerings as well. Delano, you're a buyer of Dell here. Take us through why.
Hey, Dom, thanks for having me. Yeah, I think one of the reasons why is if we see a refresh in the PC market in the second half of this year, I think that would help, increase demand versus soften demand, what we're seeing in consumers as well as enterprises. You just mentioned AI. I think that's going to be a catalyst for a lot of companies, especially when it comes to streamlining their internal operations. And Dell is actually well positioned to bring those solutions to their clients as well. So the valuation is a risk for me. That's the one thing that could offset this opinion. The shares have been on a run, and they're trading slightly expensive historically looking at the price to earnings. But I think if you look at the diversified business, it's a buy here for myself and potentially for others.
All right, let's move on to NetApp, the data technology company basically flat since November's jump on stronger guidance. Wedbush is noting higher costs and watching to see if companies pull back on cloud and data storage spending. What do you want to see here, Delano?
Yeah, one thing I want to see is looking at the IT spend. I think that's different than we mentioned with Dell, that IT spend in this area might slow. So if they're looking at, cloud consumption, and a lot of enterprises are looking at slowing that down potentially, or if they're looking at their subscriber base and enterprises are looking at slowing that as well, that's a near-term risk for me. But when I look at it, I think the long-term catalyst after 2024, public consumption, the data management, NetApp is well positioned in my mind. So I think the risk of the IT spend, but I think that will be overcome and offset by the long-term trend that we're seeing when it comes to these cloud consumption services that NetApp's providing.
All right, so NetApp down, Dell now we've addressed as well. And then finally, let's talk Sweetgreen. Those shares are up 10% so far this year, but still well off its 2021 highs. Oppenheimer is seeing stronger traffic trends and catalysts in new protein plate type offerings and the company's automated infinite kitchen system. But Delano, you're a little concerned about the strength of the salad consumer.
Exactly, the strength of the salad consumer. And, if Sweetgreen is getting, in this situation, this macro environment that we're potentially seeing the later half of this year, if they're having a higher income consumer, that would probably stabilize demand. But I think they may not have that. And I also see strong competition. Of course, Cava, Chipotle, it's a battle of pricing power and being able to maintain that pricing power. So I would be fading here. I think they're seeing a lot of downgrades across the sheet, and there are a lot of lower revisions on EPS. And for me, I want to see a little bit more of that growth story, especially for a newly IPO'd company.
All right, so we got the trades there for Dell, Sweetgreen, and NetApp. And Delano Saporu at New Street Advisors, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, sir.
Thanks for having me, Dom.
All right, well, let's check on the markets right now. The Dow's just down about 32 points at this stage. We're just about near, well off session lows at this point. That does it for here for the exchange. Coming up on Power Lunch, today is National Rare Disease Day. They're going to speak with the CEO of gene editing company CRISPR about the treatment strides they're making. That's on the other side of this quick break. Keep it right here.
Products supplied of crude and petroleum products fell 2% in December to 20.3 million barrels per day, the lowest as well since September.
Do you want to stay up to date with the latest and be on the bleeding edge of news for non-farm payrolls? Then sign up today and get our special offer of Financial Juice Pro for a year's worth of our service for the price of 1 month and save 92%.
Welcome to Power Lunch, everybody. Alongside Courtney Reagan, I'm Tyler Matheson. Glad you could join us on this February 29th. It is the rarest day on the calendar, and we mark it as Rare Disease Day. It is officially such. A day to bring attention to disorders affecting relatively few people individually, but when you realize there are thousands of these diseases out there, combined, they affect millions of families.
Yeah, the statistics are pretty staggering, actually. Coming up, we will talk to the head of the National Organization for Rare Disorders about the scope of the problem. You might be surprised, as I was. We'll talk to the CEO of a company working in this area about the process for getting treatments approved. And we'll look at some of the stocks involved in this space as possible opportunities to invest in companies working to treat or even cure these diseases. But first, let's give you a check on the markets as stocks are mixed following the latest read on inflation that we got here this morning. We have the NASDAQ Composite up about 0.6%, the S&P 500 up 0.3%, Dow Jones Industrial is just about flat, a hair to the downside. Let's bring in Mike Santoli for more on the market reaction to this morning's PCE number. Mike, I mean, it was about what we had forecast, but still hotter than, I guess, what the Fed wants to see.
For sure. Courtney, I would characterize the market response as kind of mild relief that it wasn't an upside surprise versus forecast. We've had 2 or 3 in a row inflation reports that did come in hotter than anticipated and hoped. So this was at least on target, and it was warm in the areas we've known were going to be stubbornly so, like a lot of services, things, a lot of inferred prices on financial services.
More numbers from
so
the EIA, as they say that U.S. product supply of distillate fuel oil fell 9.9% in December to 3.61 million barrels per day, that being the lowest since June of 2020.
Two-year note yield went from 4.7 down to about 4.62. So it's obviously not a huge swing in either way, but it does show you that we're sort of checking off the box that the Fed's preferred inflation measure isn't any worse than we thought it was, and inflation's kind of bouncing around below 3% somewhere.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. So why don't you stay right there as we bring in our next guest who says the data don't matter all that much. He says the Fed has a fiscal problem, not a rates problem. Keith Fitzgerald is the principal of the Fitzgerald Group. Keith, welcome. Good to have you with us. What do you mean it has a fiscal problem? Explain.
Sure, I'd be happy to. You know, the government, take it or leave it, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, has a spending problem. As long as that continues, the Fed really has to struggle because they may as well be taking blood out of their left arm and putting it in their right arm. The markets are going to address this, so that's what I mean by that.
So what does that leave us as an investor to do when you see inflation coming in basically 2.8%, a little higher maybe than the Fed would ideally like to see year over year, but the 0.4 rise in January is nothing to be terribly alarmed about. What should I do with my money now?
Well, you've actually raised a very interesting point. I think now is the time to take a deep breath, to stick with what you know, and that's the great companies, world-class companies that continue to put up great results, great numbers, regardless of what the Fed actually thinks it's going to do or what traders think the Fed's going to do.
Let's talk about one of your picks and let you make your thesis known on Apple, which I think you think is a very good buy at these prices, in part because it has now sort of junked its automobile operation and gone all in, clearly, on AI.
I do. I see this as another sort of Jobs-like moment when he introduced the iPhone back in 2007, I think it was, if my memory served. You know, this is a moment where you're going to see a pivot, something that is going to dramatically change the way the company is perceived. Tim Cook's been hinting at it. If you look behind the scenes, I think Apple is a lot more involved in AI than the world understands. And whatever happens in June at the developer conference, I think is going to take a lot of people by surprise. So I see prices moving sharply higher, perhaps even $275 a share or so.
That's pretty high compared to where we sit right now on Apple shares, which are just above 180. Do you have a stake in Apple?
Yes, I do. I own it personally. My family does, and our firm continues to recommend it to clients.
Got it. Mike, when you look at a name like Apple, which has been an underperformer, we used to say, as goes Apple, so goes the rest of the market. That doesn't necessarily seem to be the case anymore. After the announcement, knowing that they're walking away from the car, but potentially putting some more firepower into AI, which has really driven a lot of market growth. Do you feel like
the House
maybe
has
Apple's
the
back
votes
in
to
the game?
pass
We
the
can
stopgap
use
government
that
funding bill.
sort of this
The voting
market sentiment
continues, but
marker.
again, the U.S.
I would
House
say it
bill
remains
to
to be seen,
revert
Courtney.
a
I mean,
partial
there have been
government
periods of
shutdown
time when
secures enough votes
it's
to
hard
pass.
to really remember.
Did you guys just hear that out there? The House of Representatives does have enough votes to pass the spending bill to keep the government open. Just a heads up there.
entering 2024. One, it's way too reliant on 6 or 7 massive growth stocks, including Apple. Well, you've seen Apple falter. You've seen Alphabet falter.
This is Apple right down below here, and we can see that right now that Apple's price is declining, and it's underneath its hourly trigger as well.
And we've had the revised outlook to say, nope, we're not getting a rate cut in March.
No bullish trade out here on Tesla or it's Apple unless you get above the hourly trigger, back test a previous high. Until that happens, no trade yet on Apple.
I think that's really an important point that, Mike, you just made there, and that is the idea that the market has been able against
NVIDIA still looking good. I saw some NVIDIA puts for July come in just a few moments ago, but
cuts are not
nothing for right now.
Apparently, they may not come in May. I think.
Here's SPX's chart. This is where your original sellers were this morning, selling into that pin at 5,100. Coming back up again. I mean, it's not that they won't try to do that. Hold on here.
Fan of keeping.
They won't try to sell here. Not saying they won't try to do that and try to take this down into tomorrow. But just note that we're still have that pin at 5,100 to contend with. And Trader Podcast said it earlier this morning, but we know the same thing, right? This all of this gamma pinning begins to roll off slightly into the end of the month on the 29th, which is today, last day today.
Solid holding that you can count on.
Keith, thank you very much. Keith Fitzgerald, we appreciate it. Mike Santoli.
Could see a small unclench after today.
In Washington on breaking news, efforts to fund the government avoid a shutdown. Emily.
Hey, Tyler. Well, Congress is rushing to avoid a shutdown that is now set to start on Friday at midnight, and it's looking good for being able to avoid that. The House just now getting the votes needed to go ahead and pass that stopgap measure, kicking the can down the road to March 8th and then to March 22nd for both pieces of government funding. That bill could now go to the Senate, where it might be able to actually pass today. Remember, you need all senators to agree to time limits if you want something to move quickly. That seems like it does have the potential to happen. At this point, Congress is moving quickly to try and get that stopgap in place, which means now the real big question, can they actually make these deadlines after moving the goalposts yet again? Can we actually see some full fiscal year spending bills by March 8th and March 22nd? Lawmakers on the Hill are confident, but we have heard that before, so we're continuing to watch this closely.
I was just going to say, it feels like similar story. Different day, different year. Thank you very much, Emily Wilkins. Let's get to the bond market reaction to that latest inflation read. Rick Santelli joining us now from the Windy City. Hi, Rick.
Hi, indeed. We had a lot of numbers this morning, and let's hit some major highlights. Year over year, PCE core was something many were very anxious to monitor. And how did it show up? Well, as you look at this chart, which starts in January of last year, we now have 12 consecutive months of lower year-over-year PCE cores. You see that line moving down. Now, here's one of the rubs. If you open that chart to pre-COVID, you can see that even though we have come down, we are still a ways from where we were pre-COVID, and we're still on our way to target 2%.
You see if I can bring Tesla up on another chart here. I wanted to check back on Tesla.
Continue to look at all the variables today. Continuing claims also is a bit surprising. It came out over 1.9 million. We haven't done that since mid-November of last year. But as you see on this chart, I went back to November of 21.
So here's the Tesla chart on the 1 minute. They've got a cross above of the half-hour trigger coming down on top of this hourly trigger.
In claims, they have been well.
They would like to see Tesla squeeze up here and retrade.
Finally, here's a chart year to date.
This prior high above here at 205. I'd really like to see this just come swinging right back up here and start to take out all of this stuff from this morning. So keep your eyes on Tesla. If it can get above 201.24, you should see a nice squeeze. First target would be 202.06, a back test of 201.24, and then go back and clean up 203.10 and 204.85.
Before the 431 pre on 10s, now that moved down about 8 basis points. But here's what I want to.
So I'll leave the Tesla chart up down here for you as well.
2024, we're now 10 basis points below that in twos, but we're up 37 on the year. If you look at 10s, right now where it sits at 423, we're down 9 when it comes to the high yield closes. but we're up 35 on the year. You get what I'm saying. We're hugging up to higher levels, even though those numbers were, to many, just perfect with respect to inflation. Tyler, back to you.
Rick, let me just get your sort of put your forecasting hat on as we sit there with the 10-year in the 420 somethings. Is it your view that we're likelier to stay right around here in this sort of higher part of the band than go back to where we were a couple of months ago in the high threes?
Comments from ECB's Panetta says inflation is falling faster than expected.
2024 and those ratios I pointed out, I think it's actually more likely that we will be more in a range of 4.25 to 4.5 than we will be from anything under 4 up to 4.25.
Now only $99
right, Rick, thank you very much. Rick Santelli,
real-time
report for
service.
us. Meantime, coming up, from Chile to Mexico and all the way to Europe, Chinese car brands are exploding in popularity. We'll look at why next. Plus, still to come in the program, an in-depth look at an issue that affects 1 in 10 people here in the U.S. Rare diseases and conditions. Chances are you know someone afflicted. So on this Rare Disease Day, we want to shine a spotlight on the people, the industry, and the treatments that are out there and may be coming. We'll be right back.
Let me see if I can come in here with you guys for just a second here. So just another update here. Let me get my camera back on here. Or how do I do this? Old man takes a break. Hey, there we go. That's so weird. I got some weird. All right, I got that wrong. Okay, all right, hold on there. So that goes right there. It has to get locked. And then the chat box gets unlocked. Right back over there. Okay, so into tomorrow. So we've got one day, we've got today, right? And then we've got tomorrow. Today is the last day of the month. Today is February 29th. It's a leap year. We get usually a beginning of the month flows that come in the first couple weeks, and we've got the end of quarter, March coming up, right? So for end of Q stuff we have coming up as well. Tomorrow is the first day of March. We will have a lot of options expire today, not a ton, but we do have options expiry today, right? I've got options out for the 28th. That gamma becomes less important as that time gets closer, and then also if no new trades come in to offset those trades that are going out, there can be some weakness. I'm not going to call it a window of weakness, but into Friday, there's a possibility that you'll see people begin to want to find a dip to buy for the month of March. Now, saying that I didn't get the dip that I wanted as of yet, right? I'm looking for that gap close down below on SPX. Still haven't seen it. So I'm still cautiously looking for it, right? So we're going to look here at something. We're going to take a look at the trigger full screen chart really quick. And we're going to just talk about Friday, and then we're going to talk about prior highs, all that kind of stuff, okay? And we're going to look specifically back here in time on the high of February 23rd, right here, okay? This is our last high back here. And for continuation for the bulls in the month of March, you want to be paying close attention to this, okay? You want to be paying close attention to this high. This is where they teed off, right? And do we have continuation for the bulls? Are we able to get back up here and say, hey, heck yeah, we're on our way to new highs. We're going to trade 525, 535, anything like that. And that's what we're working on right here, right? You can see all of this work right here. You could see as well that large traders are selling into this strength as we come up here into the last day of the month, right? So today specifically into the close.
Car maker.
Hold on here. I'm going to mute this in the background here.
On the streets in the U.S.
So into the end of this month flows here, right? I expect us to trade up into this close today, right? Try to get everything out that they can. They're selling into that strength here. and maybe see some weakness into Friday. Now, the one thing that's bothering me here is for that, if we're going to go up and go crazy into the month of March, and at least the beginning of the month of March, is all this gap stuff down here never got closed. Do we come back for this stuff in the end of March and just leave it behind? If we do leave it behind, we know we need to get above this yellow box right here. That can trigger us to then save it for that seasonal weakness that we should get into the end of quarter or even into possibly April. So for right now, for myself, I would say to you guys that trade this zone right here, this pin at the end of the day up here at 5,100, right? And then I wouldn't be trying to take a long above it, like confident that we're going to 525, unless you see some price action like this and then the trade higher and you beat the previous trade. If you see some action like this, heck yeah, we're going to start running, and it's going to be balls to the walls until we get up there to that 4 or 5%. If we fail to, I am still going, like if we get weak tomorrow on, if we go up here, pin for the end of month, then we roll down on Friday, I'd be looking more for a dip buy again into the next 2 weeks, next week or two, from Friday, Monday, Tuesday for that run to the upside. Maybe a quick blast down would be nice. I would love to see the quick blast down and then a toe curling run to the upside personally. But either way, if we're above that 510 or 5100 on SPX, we'll take it either way. I think that's all I got to give you guys. And I'll write that up into a report for you after the close today. If you're a subscriber level or higher, you're going to get an update on SPY and QQQs that lays all of this out for you for Friday and into next week. Go back over here. You got gold up today. I didn't check the miners again this week. I should have checked back in on those miners. I saw that there was a discussion about them earlier this week on CNBC. I think we looked at miners, and then it was a big topic of conversation. Trading higher now, knocking out all these previous highs back here. Taking out the next one currently right here. We took out the first one. Here comes the second one right here. We got one more behind it above at 508.80. NVDA blasting off now. Apple trying to recover right now after that shit show on CNBC. Tesla still being rejected right now. You can see there's some resistance above here on Tesla at this cross 201.24. So we'll monitor that trade as well. Oh, dude, look at IWM. It looks so fucking beautiful. Look at it. It's just gorgeous. IWM looks sexy right now, by the way. Looks really good. I like it. Trading 508.23, squeezing higher right now on SPOOs. I got to take this call. Hold on, guys.
When you'll see them go head to head.
BYD back in the spotlight again today. They did some consolidation after some discussion yesterday after their big rip.
All right, still to come
on their announcements, and then they're looking for more upside right now. I think we had it up earlier. I'll bring it up again right now for you so you can see it.
We're going to take a look at the different ways investors can play the space, including gene editing pharmaceutical firm CRISPR. We'll talk to the CEO. Howard Lutz will be right back.
Nope. Wrong ticker. Yeah, and it is bouncing back up off of its consolidation from this morning. We called this one out too earlier, that there was a back check on its hourly trigger. It's now climbing once again, holding on to its trend. It's trading at $11.36. Came in, back checked its weekly trigger, and it's back off and running once more. So here's BYD for you.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. I'm Bertha Coombs with your CNBC News Update. As expected, Donald Trump has appealed a Wednesday night ruling disqualifying him from the Illinois Republican primary ballot. A judge said the former president should be removed from the vote for his role in the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Mr. Trump's team called the move unconstitutional. A recently introduced bill to protect in vitro fertilization in the state of Alabama just passed with a commanding majority in the state's House. It now heads to the Alabama Senate for consideration. Lawmakers are responding to an outcry across the state and the country following the Alabama Supreme Court's decision to define frozen embryos as children. Several fertility clinics paused their IVF programs over legal fears in that state. And hundreds of items belonging to Sir Elton John sold for more than double their estimate at auction, rocketing to $20 million. Among the items that were up for grabs, a grand piano used by the Rocket Man, his prized classic Bentley, and a leopard print Rolex Daytona, which was encrusted with 36 orange sapphires. We don't see it there yet. And apparently 4 dozen diamonds. There it is. That is one fancy timepiece. Back to you.
There's a lot of bling going on there. Thank you very much, Bertha.
Right?
Well, still to come, our coverage of an issue that affects millions of Americans, rare diseases. Sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but we'll explain it when we speak to some influential names in the treatment space. That's next. And as we had to break, a quick power check. On the positive side, Hormel, up 13%, beating on earnings. On the negative side, Xcel Energy lower after a law firm alleged it is linked to the Texas wildfires. We'll be right back.
5.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. While today is a leap day, it is also National Rare Disease Day, a day to bring awareness to rare diseases and to the many people and families affected by them. Joining us now, Peter Saltonstall, President and CEO of the National Organization of Rare Disorders, also known as NORD. And here on set with us, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, our friend, former FDA commissioner and a CNBC contributor. Welcome to both of you. Peter, let me begin with you. What is a rare disease? How do you define it?
Rare disease in the United States is defined as a population of patients under 200,000, and that's the driver for the Orphan Drug Act.
If you put all of those diseases with 200,000 or fewer cases combined, how many people are you talking about in the aggregate?
Well, we say that there are 7,000 rare diseases and about 30 million people in America, 1 in 10 Americans that are impacted by rare diseases. So it's a significant number.
So rare diseases are prevalent then. They may be rare, but in some, they are quite prevalent.
That is correct. That is correct. And I would say, Tyler, that the important thing here is that with the 7,000 rare diseases and the 30 million Americans, 95% of them now don't have an authorized or an approved FDA therapy. And so that's a real challenge. So we have 95% of the population who don't have a therapy.
How costly are these diseases in the aggregate, number one? And number two, are they normally life-threatening, life-limiting, or are they chronic and manageable in that sense?
I'm not a physician, so I'll let Scott answer part of that question. But I can tell you that they are economically a burden on the economy and the country. Because the issue of being misdiagnosed happens to patients continually. I mean, we have most of our patients, it takes 4 to 5 years to get diagnosed. So there's a lot of healthcare costs that goes into that before there's even a therapy developed. So it's an expensive and a timely and a complicated issue for patients.
Scott, are rare diseases increasing? It feels like I'm hearing about them more, or is it just the awareness of such is what we're hearing about?
Yeah, I think it's awareness, and I think it's also that more rare diseases are addressable now. So now we're talking about them. NORD has been instrumental in getting in place incentives for companies to try to develop drugs for these diseases, including the Orphan Drug Act, getting that implemented initially and also sustaining it. I think we're in an environment now where it's more difficult to get policy to confer incentives for the development of some therapeutics for these rare diseases. And what we're looking at is super orphan diseases, diseases that can affect thousands and sometimes hundreds of patients, where you now have the modalities to try to treat some of these diseases, where the economic incentives aren't always there, notwithstanding the very high prices that are charged for these drugs. It could still be very uneconomical to develop therapeutics for these indications. And we don't have the same policy solutions for these challenges that we had years ago, because you don't have the same consensus in policy circles, and particularly diseases where you have sort of a common phenotype. So patients have a common experience, but there might be a different genetic variation for even individual patients, where you now have platforms like siRNA or oligonucleotides, where you could literally change the drug for each individual patient to attack some of these diseases like Batten's disease. Those are the places where it's very hard not only to get the incentives in place, but even the regulatory path for some of these potential cures.
Crude oil futures, WTI crude April futures settling at $78.26 a barrel. That is down 28 cents or 0.36%. A gasoline March futures settle at $2.30. Diesel March futures $2.68.
The challenge for a bigger drug maker getting into some of these spaces is when you look at some of these drugs, if you're talking about just hundreds of patients that might suffer from a condition, the sort of political backlash to charging the high prices that you need to sustain the investment and get a return on the investment is very hard to do inside a big drug maker, because they're more prone to getting the sort of political recriminations over the high prices. So you see this be largely the domain of smaller companies, which I think have more latitude to charge those prices. So you've seen in recent years large companies get out of these orphan spaces, and that does worry me, that you see capital coming out. And I'm talking particularly about the super rare diseases, where there still, I think, is a market failure. And also, it's very hard to do second-to-market innovation in some of these indications. So what happens is, after a therapy comes to market and you treat everyone with an inherited condition, for example, the number of patients who will be newly diagnosed each year with that condition isn't enough to sustain someone else coming into that space. And so some of these categories remain monopolies in perpetuity, because you just can't incentivize second-to-market innovation that would bring down prices.
Let me ask you a question about the regulatory environment, Scott, and I'll come back to you, Peter, in just a moment. I'm guessing that the regulatory regime is set up to test drugs for the broadest efficacy and safety for the broadest number of people. And here you have, by definition, conditions where there may be 150, 200, 500 people in the United States. How do you test drugs in such a small sample set?
Yeah, look, it's very hard, and that's why when I was there, and FDA has continued to try to build what we call natural history models, where you can randomize against what is perceived to be the natural history of patients with a condition, so you don't have to randomize to placebo. But when you're talking about these modalities where you can individualize the treatment for patients based on their unique genetic profile, where they have sort of a common phenotype, like Batten's disease, but every patient might have a very small difference in the genetic variation that drives the disease, and you want to deliver the drug, you want to tweak the drug for each individual patient. That's very hard because the regulatory model tries to incentivize the standardization of treatments and not the variation for each individual patient. That's where we need, I think, some novel thinking about the regulatory path.
Peter, I read that 80% of rare diseases are genetically based. Does that provide us, now that we are mapping genes and with technologies like CRISPR and others, we can actually target genetic malformations or whatever they are, we can target them. Is that a point of promise for the treatment of rare disease? And if so, how big a point of promise is it?
Yeah, I really think, again, and Scott, what Scott just said about how drugs are being developed now, I think the genetic issue for us really is the future of the frontier. And what we're seeing now more and more is the opportunity for people to be able to get something basically just for them, if you will, which does still create the problem that we were just talking about, which is much smaller populations. And there's not a policy or regulatory forum right now that allows us to be able to do that really effectively. So I think while the future is there, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the regulatory front to be able to make sure that we can get drugs approved and then paid for these smaller populations.
In other words, if I have a small population and I'm tweaking the drug so it works only for you, or essentially only for you, then you become, in a way, the test case for that drug, right? You become the guinea pig.
Right. Exactly right.
Yeah, these are these N of 1 diseases, and that's what we often refer to. And it might not be an N of 1. It might be 5 or 6 patients with one unique genetic variation. What you need to have is a pathway that allows companies to study sort of an aggregation of these patients and then extrapolate beyond that to other patients that have the common phenotype. They have the common syndrome, but they might have different genetic variations that might not have been included in the clinical trial. And that's where the regulatory hiccup is right now, in the willingness of regulators to allow that extrapolation.
The system isn't set up for that.
No, and it's been something that's been talked about literally for about 10 years right now, how to create a viable regulatory model for this. That's where the real opportunity is for these super rare diseases. And a lot of them are inherited diseases that children are born with. So there's a really compelling desire to try to get treatments. So notwithstanding the economic model, which I think also is a barrier to the investment in these spaces, the regulatory model does become also an impediment.
Wow.
Can I just add to what Scott just said, because I think there's one other really important point, and that's that they're trying to find those patients as well. And one of the things that we've done in the last couple of years is developed a broad network called the Centers of Excellence, where we've now connected 41 of the top academic medical centers around the country and are connecting all of those clinicians via a thing called Nord Central. So if they see something in a unique patient, they can then reach out onto that network and ask other clinicians if they see something like that, so that we can start to bring, as Scott was just saying, some of those small populations, identify those people and bring them together.
It makes a lot of sense. Information sharing really paramount to solving some of these very difficult problems. Really important conversation. Peter Saltonstall, thank you very much. And Dr. Gottlieb, stick around. We're going to have much more with you to come. Still ahead, we'll continue our special coverage of Rare Disease Day with a leading name in gene editing. CRISPR Therapeutics CEO Sam Kulkarni joins us when Power Lunch returns. Welcome back to Power Lunch as we continue to mark Rare Disease Day. Let's take a closer look now at companies trying to do good and do well with treatments for these diseases. Look at Crinetics Pharmaceuticals, up 115% in a year. See that big spike in September, fairly straight up there? That was on positive news regarding a treatment of a rare hormone disorder. Bridge Biopharma has also tripled in the past year with a big jump last July when its drug to treat a rare heart disease showed positive results in a trial. CRISPR Therapeutics is another name involved in the rare disease space. You might have heard of it, seeing some pretty big gains over the last year as well, up over 70% in a year. So joining us now is Samarath Kulkarni, he's CEO of CRISPR Therapeutics, and Dr. Scott Gottlieb, former FDA commissioner and a CNBC contributor, is still with us. We should say that Dr. Gottlieb is also a partner at the venture firm New Enterprise Associates, which is an early investor in CRISPR. Thank you very much for being here, Sam. Really appreciate it. I mean, obviously, we had a very fascinating conversation. I don't know if you were able to hear all of it, but it's sort of about the hurdles to getting some of these drugs through when it comes to regulatory or otherwise just being able to invest the money that it takes to tackle some of these issues. Where are we right now with your company, with CRISPR, when it comes to tackling rare diseases?
Yeah, thank you for having me, and it's great that you're recognizing World Rare Disease Day. In the last segment, the speaker was mentioning that there's 7,000 rare diseases, and what's disheartening is, 80 to 90% of those rare diseases do not have a good treatment available for those patients.
Now seeing Brent crude futures settle at $83.62 a barrel, which is down 6 cents or 0.07% on the session, close to flat.
Sickle cell disease and thalassemia, two of the more well-known rare diseases, with our partner Vertex. But that's just the start. What we have with the CRISPR technology is a programmable and scalable platform which can apply to many rare diseases and not just provide a treatment, but provide a transformative treatment for these rare diseases.
When it comes to what you're expecting going forward, what can we look forward to? Give us some good news on the horizon. Is there research that's just getting so very close to offering some new treatments for some of these individuals?
Yeah, Scott will attest. The science is moving at breakneck speed, and it's not just CRISPR Therapeutics, but the other companies in the space as well doing work with rare diseases. We're working with a number of rare diseases, for instance, rare forms of cancer, like T-cell lymphomas. We're working type 1 diabetes. We're working on rare autoimmune diseases like lupus nephritis, and also.
What are these guys doing right now? Are these guys unloading all their shit for you on CNBC right now? This is the unload my crappy trades on you hour on, I feel like every day at 2 o'clock. So I think someone said that today, and or yesterday we were discussing it when all the options bros are on CNBC, and they're like, I think you guys should buy this ticker because I'm long in it right now, or I'm trying to exit right now. You're my exit liquidity. Some of those things do spike, though. I do sometimes see some of the tickers they talk about spike on discussions. But then I feel like a lot of it's unloading. We're coming into 2:49 right now. We've got 11 minutes left to the half an hour for 3 p.m. A little bit of weakness here in SPY. We've got a small cross coming up here, small bear cross right here. Sometimes you can see some pretty big downside moves. I want to draw your attention to this first cross right here. So we have this first bear cross right in here, right? You see it right there? And you can sometimes, if they actually confirm the second cross, we can get an amplified bearish reaction. So here's your first one right here, right? You got this one right here. So that's your first bear cross right there. And this one has not set up yet, but I never like these if they happen. So that's the only thing I want to point out to you. I still think we pin the close, but coming into this 3 o'clock half an hour here, this looks like some weakness, right? You see it right there? Just watch this right here. You're seeing some stops being taken out right here. I'm watching for that move right there and a little bit of blood. A little bit of a bloodbath coming up down here. So just be careful of this stuff down here. For the next 10 minutes or so, or possibly even into the 3:30 hour. And then maybe you see the ramp up into the close from 3:30 until 4 p.m., if it does even happen. If you look down below here, IWM trying to come back down and retest its hourly trigger as well. I still like this setup down here. This is probably my favorite setup versus like Qs or SPY. There goes the first blood move to the downside. And then if you look at SPX over here, right, you can see them coming in to sell, right? So here's SPX. You've got the sell pressure above, whoop, right there. You got that next sell pressure above right there. Wait a minute. Let's shoot back over there. Whoop. And they're coming in once more. They're angry, man. These sellers, well, not just sellers, but there's probably some shorts that are angry. And then you've got people unloading. Well, not people, but institutions, funds that are unloading and taking profit for the end of month. And you can see that right there, right? Selling into strength, selling into strength, selling into strength. So this little bit of weakness right now in the SPY. We'll wait and see what happens in this close, if we're going to creepy crawly up the wall or not. Still like this whole setup. This looks gorgeous, man. Look at that hourly trigger just carrying the market higher and higher and higher. You see that beautifulness right there? Buyer demand just stepping in. Buyer demand just stepping in. Buyer demand just stepping in. Huge demand right there stepping in. And you're getting this fight, right? Sellers coming down, sellers coming down. I love these charts, man. I love when it does this stuff, right? This is that coiling effect, right, that we talk about, right? You come down here, right? You have range expansion here, right? Whoop. Consolidation here. We start to coiling for a larger move, right? See that coiling action right here, trying to do the breakout. Trying to shake you out to find out if we have more buyers or more sellers, and for range expansion to come into next week. Right there, right? Beautiful, beautiful action. I love this price action. We're near some resolution for bulls and bears. We're getting wound up here. Wound up, baby. Make or break. Which way are we going? Up or down, Cap? Hold on, I'll turn this rare disease day stuff on down here.
But from an economic and financial perspective, can you tell us why this is a good investment?
Absolutely, and we're redoubling our efforts at CRISPR Therapeutics because of two reasons. One is, with a platform like CRISPR, you're taking a deterministic approach, so you have less failures and less attrition.
NVDA still above its 1 in 5 minute trigger here.
As I said, it's modular and programmable. So if you develop the platform, then you just have to replace the genetic oligonucleotide for each disease. So what that does is reduce the cost of development. You know, in many cases, for big pharma, it costs $2
Yeah, Plimpton, I'm on agreement with you to a lot of extent, man. It's like I'm gonna try. I don't think I'm gonna try to do is outside of market hours. I'm gonna sign up for Bloomberg for a month, and we'll try Bloomberg out and see how they do.
But tens of diseases they're gonna cure.
We'll try Bloomberg out.
This is so fascinating. Sam Kulkarni, thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Scott Gottlieb is here, and he's sticking around.
Alrighty, coming up, shares of Novo Nordisk are up 70% over the past year. Ozempic demand continuing to soar. And during February, we celebrate Black Heritage. Here's M&T Bank CEO Renee Jones sharing his story.
As a Black CEO of a Fortune 500 company, I may be an exception, but it's important to remember that there are many exceptional people who create positive change and inspire others every day. Black Heritage Month gives us that opportunity to celebrate the many exceptional, absolutely extraordinary people in our Black and brown communities across America.
This morning I was looking at yesterday after the close, I was looking at the Bloomberg TV and then Bloomberg Plus. And what I noticed was, I could be wrong on this, but what I took away from it was Bloomberg TV is delayed. I think it's delayed by 15 seconds, maybe longer. I saw that you have to sign up, tune in is a delay, a noticeable delay. And So I tried to sign up last night on Bloomberg Plus, and I got a 404. I actually got a really funny one. It was one of the best 404s I've seen. It was like the infinite screen, and it had some like funny shit. Whoever the devs are were really cool about it, but whatever. So I couldn't sign up last night for the Plus, but I want it. That's what I have right now. There's two reasons. I've got the CNBC Pro because I do like some of their articles. Some of their pro articles are pretty good. Now they have a new pro level for CNBC. I saw people messing with it. It was really expensive, but I think it was $165 a month or something like that. I don't know. I might sign up for it. But the reason I signed up originally for the Pro on CNBC was because there was no native delay. Now, maybe I'm wrong here because you know what else? I think Amazon Prime might have Bloomberg TV in real time. And I could put that on like a low quality video with the audio playing. I'll check. Let me check Amazon Prime right now. Maybe I can pull it up. I think Amazon Prime might have Bloomberg TV that you'd pay the fee for Amazon or Bloomberg Plus. I don't know if I'm saying all of that right, but that's what I bought. I bought the CNBC Pro for you guys so that if there's any articles that are good to go, that they keep behind a paywall, or for the broadcast to be real time. If you're not finding value in that, let me know in the chat, and we can test other things out. So I'll buy whatever you guys want. Shit, I got it. I got you covered. So you guys, we should start a. You know what? How about this? I shouldn't be offering to do this stuff to the chat on the stream. I will get in touch with Bork.
Up to 5 million Americans are taking them.
Hold on here.
Staggering figure considering.
So what I'll do is this. I'll do what you want better. Inside of the Discord, I will ask Bork to put a suggestion box up. I can't guarantee we can have everything, but we can try things out until the entire community enjoys it. Part of the good thing about what we do here is we always want that free model, but then the people that are supporting what we're doing, we want to give them some say in what we do, right? Some direction or some insights and that kind of stuff. So I'll ask Bork to put a suggestion box in the Discord so you guys can make suggestions like, yeah, we don't like CNBC. Let's try out Bloomberg, or try out this or try out that, and we'll try out whatever you want. We figured we'd do that with the bots too. We were like, we'll pay for the premium bots, and if people like them, we'll keep them. If people don't like them, we'll get rid of them. We'll try something different. So it'll be based on what you guys use. We're gonna check. I think Bork also said he was gonna check to see if you guys are using that stuff or not. I think it's a kick-ass value. $30, you get every premium bot you can get. If there's anything that we're missing, let us know. Just that alone is a fucking steal. That cost you like a few hundred. That probably cost you $600 a month or something. So we're hoping to give that value proposition for people that support and want to see our community grow over the years and become sustainable. So I'll get that suggestion box in the Discord if he says okay. I'm not the boss of that, so I have to ask. He might tell me no. I've been told no. Because I don't want to micromanage people. So we'll check with Bork and see what he says. Oh, he's here right now. He's listening in. He's actually going to do that. So the idea behind this is this. If you guys want to ever give suggestions or, hey, can we try this or try that, or we're not really liking this and we'd really like to see more of that, let us know. And I wanted to let you guys know something else. If you are a subscriber or a supporter, or if you are a pro trader, one or the other, I want you to know something else. We have some very, very talented developers that are working on more tools for you. We're not done launching stuff. We got some crazy stuff getting launched here. But I want you to know, too, if you're a part of our community, right? So you have a free community here, right? And you're supporting us. So from your support for our free community, you have some kind of a vote or say that we are willing to listen to in the direction that we go if you're a supporter or a pro trader. So if you're like, hey, man, will you guys ever work on gamma models? Will you guys ever work on, I don't know, Jimmy earlier was asking about Fed liquidity models, right? Do you want those posted or do you want a tool for that? Any of that kind of stuff. I know that David AMS is working on golden nuggets with triggers to launch with us in the future. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, if you're in the Discord, don't hesitate to post a suggestion so that we can look at those for the direction as we move forward. Man, this is all brand new, so this is where things are fun, right? This is kind of like the good times. If you're a subscriber and a pro trader, think about it. We are brand new. So you guys have a say to some extent as to the future of where we go. We did our thing, right? We did our thing. We completed everything we wanted to complete, and we're in phase 2 now. So feel free to make a suggestion in the suggestion box in the Discord. What happened over here? Oh, we got people in here. We got people getting saucy in the chat. What did people say? What did people say in the chat? I didn't see it. Someone DM me what was said, or DM me, or text me. I was missing what was said inside the chat. Yeah, I didn't see what was said. So DM me what was said. I didn't hear it. I didn't see it or hear it. I missed that, whatever that whole chat was. Make sure whoever that is, make sure we can ban him on YouTube too. I don't know what was said. I didn't see anything. What else? Jimmy Barry is asking right now. He's saying, I think it would be beneficial to all those if you also chart up where the liquidity is for the trader. I can do that. I can actually show. Do you guys want me to show? Do you guys want to see liquidity outside of Bookmap, or do you want to see it? I can work. How about this, Jimmy? Do you want me to do a market and volume profile? I had one, and I somehow I built one on Thinkorswim, and I got kicked from it. But I can rebuild it again if you want. Mr. Talking Monkey, I think I just spoke to Bork for you a few minutes ago. So I'm fascinating to see you make that comment. I was just talking to Bork a couple seconds ago about you. Add Bork on that one. He's working his way through. It's taken so Bork's time right now is like, you guys can't see a lot of this. Bork is like, he's got fires everywhere. He's got a developer side fires. He's got an octopus right now. He's got like 8 arms, and he's got even me going, oh, can we do this and can we do that? We just had a conversation where I was like, he's like, I just got to take it slow, and I'm like, okay, good, take it slow. We're working our way through, Mr. Talking Monkey. I got you, brother. Yeah, he's getting worked over right now. At the end of every day, right when we're done. So I'll give you guys some behind the scenes stuff. You guys you might or might not find this fascinating out there. So inside. So when we're done here, right, we're done with the show, we get together and we have a meeting. And I kid you not, we all feel like we're coming off of like a football field or a soccer field. Like we just ran 2 45-minute halves. If any of you have ever played soccer, if you were a starter. So I played soccer and played football, right? Played soccer. That was my major sport I played. Played it right through college. And I was never good enough to be pro. But I was never good enough to be D1 either. I gotta say something here. I wasn't that good, but I was good enough to play D2, D3 soccer, right? And I couldn't get a so bad I shouldn't be saying this shit. I couldn't get an athletic scholarship, right? You can only get those at D1 schools. So I was given a scholastic scholarship that I didn't deserve to play soccer for a college. So I played soccer for a small sub-Ivy League school. That's how I went through my schooling. And at that level, if you're good enough, you're running 45 minutes, and you're going to run another 45 minutes, and you likely don't come out. So if you've ever done that in life, that's what it feels like this past week. We are like running. I think even last night I was answering help tickets until 1:30 in the morning. 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I was helping people last night on Discord. And then, of course, this morning, right back awake this morning at 6:30. I think I got 5 hours of sleep last night. Well, if I'm lucky. Matter of fact, Q is like passing out at his keyboard. He's oversleeping. I woke him up this morning, I think, and he like slammed his phone down. So I shouldn't be saying this shit. So if you guys see Bork out and about, is my point. If you see Bork out and about, Joe out and about, if you see Q out and about, those guys are cranking right now. Those guys are working their asses off. Balls to the wall. Spy with recovery right now. 302 power hour, baby. We know about the end of the month pin right at 5,100. And that begins to wear off as we head into end of month, into Friday. So it looks like they're parking the bus on us here into the close today. They're the steady, quiet hand of the market, right? They got some fat old white guy, and he's got his spreads on right now, and he's got a team. He's got a I kid you not, he's got a team, and then like just a little bit more zero date puts. We can't tell anybody we're doing that. Little more zero date calls over there. And you got dealers over here going, how do we get out of this trade? All right. 3 minutes into power hour. You know my take here. I think we pin this in the close. We might have some weakness on Friday. I'm looking for a dip to buy for the first half of March. I've got a hedge on the market right now to March 28th for a trade down to 490. You guys any of you guys that are pro subscribers have access to the projections on a daily basis. You have the projections to the hourly basis of where I think we're going. You guys know I've already got the targets for 525, 535. You've had access to those all week. You know my expectations there, and you did see the downside that I want to buy, I believe, on those projections as well. Hold on one second here. I got something I got to take care of. I got one quick thing I got to do. Where's let me see. I got something I got to do here. Hold on here, guys. I got something I got to do. Career low, are you inside the chat right now? It looks like career low has already met with Bork. Career low, are you in the chat right now? Can you say something in the chat? Can you just make a comment really quick? If you're here right now. Are you here right now, Carrillo? There you go. All right, you've been done. It looks like, oh, wait a minute here. What am I doing wrong? I'm hitting buttons I shouldn't be hitting. All right, make another comment there really quick, Carrillo. Just do, hey, check. So it looks like Carrillo has worked his way through the process of becoming a moderator on Twitch. He's also going to, I believe, I could be wrong here, don't hold me to this. He may be a moderator in the Discord as well. If you're looking for information on Gamma, questions about Gamma, stuff like that, I always trust Carrillo. I think he's still there. Cool. Okay. So if you guys have questions, if any of you other guys out there are interested, you already know what to do. We're going to work our way through this process very slowly. Thanks, Carrillo. I appreciate you taking it on. It's going to be hard work, man. I apologize. Hey, you're welcome, man. I appreciate you. Hey, Carrillo, brother. I've always been grateful, man, for our friendship, my man. Always. 100%. Hold on, I'm in the middle of a car. I'm getting yelled at right now. Hell yeah, brother. I love you, Carrillo. Fuck yeah, best bros. I can't wait to hang out with you in the Discord too, dude. We gotta chill. Okay, so I just read what that comment was on I just read what that comment was on Twitch. It wasn't too bad. He didn't get banned. Okay, that's good. He didn't get banned. He's still here. He just got a timeout. I thought that comment on Twitch was fine. It was pretty gross, though. That was pretty gross. I don't know who it was. I didn't see who it was, but whoever it was, you didn't get banned. You just got a timeout. That was it. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Bork. I'm with you too, Bork. I think it was earned. I would want. I mean, he probably was wearing like a badge of honor, right? He's probably stoked right now. Oh, let me read what somebody. I'm trying to read the chat right now on YouTube. Hold on here. Yeah, Chase. I don't think Chase, man. I want to know what you're doing tomorrow, dude. I want to know if Chase is gonna hold into Friday or not. There was a moment for him, I think, to get out of his trade earlier this morning. We brought that up for him, and I'm hoping that he's okay. I don't know if he's here right now. He's probably pretty fucking pissed. I would be fucking pissed. I'll be honest. I hate fucking losing, man. I fucking hate it. I get enraged. I get pretty, well, it's hard to say. It's the ones that really bug me are like the ones where I know better. I think are the ones that really fucking irk me the most. If I take a good trade and it fails, I'm usually okay. If I do, like, if I trade like 5 or 6 grand and I knew that I shouldn't have taken that trade and I did it anyways, I get fucking pissed. And I've done that on this show. You've seen me on this show knowingly know I'm going to get fucking annihilated. Like, I don't mind cutting my losses. That kind of stuff I'm fine with. It's when I'm like, that's it. I'll let them burn until the close. That shit gets me. It'll mess up my whole night too. Like, I can't get over it. I'm like, when I post to you guys, like, don't take this trade with me, I know they work a lot, but I'm being serious when I say that shit, because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is extremely risky. Are we going to get the creepy crawly up the Wally today? That's what I want to know. 3:11 right now. I'm going to look up some music here just in case we get the creepy crawly up the Wally on a Friday. It looks like it's setting up. Sometimes they like to park the bus, right? Just ping us sideways, like right where we are right now, right? What I would expect here is this bullshit. You know, this nonsense right here, right until fucking 4 p.m. And then possibility of some kind of creep up there in like the last minute or something like that. This is a lot of times with spreads, man. If we're going down into the end of a month, or if we're going up into an end of the month or even quarter, that last fucking few minutes, you'll see a blast up or down. You guys were here with me one day on stream. Right? Oh, shit. Did I just delete a bunch of stuff? Oh, all right. You guys were here with me there was 1 month where I was here with you guys, and I had us going down like 30 points for the last day, right? I was like, we're going down 30 points today, guaranteed. And we didn't. We held until like 3:58. And we literally blasted 30 points down the last 5 minutes, or last minute. It was like last minute or 2 minutes. We went straight down to the depths of hell. Do you guys remember that day? Some of you do. Some of you have brought it up and said, I remember that fucking day. It was a month end. It was like 3:58 in the afternoon. It might have been like 3:53 or something, but we went 30 points straight 1 or 2 minutes. Do you remember that? That day was fucking crazy. I think I closed my puts too before it happened. I don't think I was in puts. I think I was in puts, and then I closed them and I got squeezed out into the end. But I don't remember. I think this was February of March or of 23, maybe. February or March 2023. I'm not positive, but it was one of those end of months. Yeah, they went to like $15. It was insane. It was insane. And dude, remember when I stayed on the stream? I was like, so I was sitting here in the stream, and I'm like, I ain't fucking turning the stream off until this shit happens. It did. I thought that was insane that day. That was a memorable day. I wish we should go back and find that video from that day. That was a good one. We had another one too, right? We had another one where we were like, close your fucking puts. There was a big one. That was December of 23. We were consolidating sideways, and we were going to blast down the depths of hell. We were going to roll down. And we ended up making the flip up or something. And then we're in the close, and we're like, no, dude, we're not going down here. We're going up. And just fucking, we blasted for like fucking 3 straight weeks, like a vertical bar straight up north. It was crazy. Hold on a second here. I gotta put some I'm gonna put some. What do you guys think I should put on? Bull or bear music for the close today? It's the end of month. We've got 2 months down. If you want, we can take a look at the. How about this? Let's take a look at something. We got something cool to look at. I think I'll put the bull music on. If we can find some bull music, I'll put some bull music on, and we'll see what we can find. We're going to look at the JPM collar today, okay? Let me see if I can find anything that's worth it. Nah, I don't like that. Nah, I don't like that. Ooh, that's crazy. It's like the fucking bulls are just like, we own this market. The bulls owning the market right here. Some D&B. We got the bulls closing out another kick-ass month. Let's take a look really quick at let's take a look really quick. Should I do it on my screener maybe? This might be the best place to show it. Let's take a look at the seasonality chart. We haven't taken a. I post these once a week for pro traders. Let's take a look at that really quick. So right here we've got the JPM collar trade, right? We always want to look at these things and just see past history. Not guaranteed we're going to get to that same past history, but we'll always like take a look here. When we pop the collar, what happens and its relation to time, right? Here's an example back here. This is August, September. We ended up trading down into the end of that popped collar. This is November. We traded down into the end of this collar. Pop the collar here, traded down. Pop the collar here, traded down. We did not pop the collar and trade down on Q1 of 2024. And we're just getting started here, right? I'm popping this collar. We know that we have seasonal weakness. Question becomes, do we start it right now, which we haven't done, right? We had a divergence there, or do we have one last squeeze and then start our way down into the end of quarter for the end of March? That becomes the big question. Any of you with Pro Trader subscriptions know that my thoughts here are that we trade up into that 525 and then come back down right there. That would preserve the 5015 or any kind of a seasonal back test. So I want to show you guys this real quick right here, okay? So whoop, right back there. I'm going to move this over right here so you can see that. And I'm going to draw in a quick box right here, right? We're looking right there, right? We're going to make this really simple, old school, right? This is old school trading, right? Some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't. We have a decline like this, right? We have what's called a trough. Come back up here, right? Back test to make sure that's the way that we're going. Whoop, right there. We come up higher. And what happens here, right? Do you see it? So if we do have a correction or a pullback and we come back down to test this, we don't want to give up this previous high right here, all this stuff, right? Even if there's a brief, oh no, the market's going to crash, we're going to the depths of hell here. You guys are all bared up down here, and we recover. If we don't recover, we will actually retest this whole low down here. Way down here, usually, not always. We'll retest this one first. Do the first low that you check. I guess I'm drawing this kind of shittily. Hold on here. There we go. So the idea being here is that we're going to retest this stuff down here. You're going to get all bared up for a blast down, right? To then test this level. Big old squeeze up here and then come back down to 3,500. I know these bears are wanting this, right? They're likely you're going to hear everybody on FinTwit on whatever this is right here. And they will be in here telling you we're going down to the depths of hell. Rather than just taking that trade, right? So you take the trade, close it, you wait till you're underneath, and then you take that trade, right? So we probably have some more upside to go, is my point, to preserve this entire structure. So it's not that we won't, like, there's bears here that are like, fuck you, we want to get underneath that right now and start that process, right? Buyers are like, nope, we're going to get it, we're going to make this stupid up here, and then whatever that back test is, that trough check, is no lower. Does that make sense? Maybe a little dip down and then that V-shaped recovery. And we're off and running where? To the right and up. To the right and up. Someone posted that to me as a reply yesterday. Because that's what I used to say to you guys, right? To the right and up. So if you just want a bigger view here, simplified for a trader, there you go. You have it. Dude, I don't know what's up with this chat box. There it goes. Back up and running again. Get that chat box running. That's right. Get that chat box saucy again. Nice little grind into the close here. I'll extend these bars over here for you so you can see them again. We already broke through that one. We got this one back here. Boop. We got that one right there. We'll type this in up here, morning high. That's your morning high right there. And then we'll look back. I'll snap one more. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, so we got the morning high. This is the market high, previous market high right there. I think we used to call this the Hendrix line or something like that, right? I think back in the day we'd call it the Hendrix line. How do I it's not allowing me to type. Okay. All right, shit. It's going to be spelled wrong. I apologize. I'm not putting the U in there. We'll just hide it up there. It's not a lot. It's telling me to get fucked right now. It's like you're too much computing. Do we get the creepy crawly up the wally? If you ever want to support what we do here, we have everything is free, or we're based upon being free. So the live streams are free. On our website, we give you we expanded daily levels, pivots every day for the entire market. Pay nothing for that. You can go sign up for free and get your daily pivot points for your favorite tickers. The only thing that we had a real issue with was the safety and security of our Discord. So we have moved to a paid model, and we want to expand as a community. So you'll always benefit from us with free membership forever and ever. If you ever want to become a supporter, though, or tip or anything like that, I always recommend just signing up. We just launched our new Discord, our new website. You get a bunch of tools. You get some really cool market updates, written briefs, all that kind of stuff. You get access to scanners. You even get access to manipulatable charts for the tools on TradingView. And I think that's $32 a month for a year. I think that's $380 or something. I don't know exactly what it costs, but it's really cheap, and you can support the stabilization and growth for the next stage for us as a community. And I want you to know that anybody that has signed up for that level that wants to see us get to the next stage, I really appreciate your support. We were talking amongst a meeting last night, and we were shocked at the people that are supporting the stream and supporting the website, the development, the work that these guys are doing in the background, all the tools. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Here. My puppy just came in to say hello to me. He was outside running around. But I just want to say thank you to all of you out there that are showing that support. I really appreciate it. You guys are making the jump for us, man. I'm like beside myself right now with the support you're all showing out there. Woo. Oh, and it also grants you access to chat too on Twitch. So for that $30 a month, you get. I'll go through what the offer is. Hold on, let me take a look. We'll go through everything that's included. For our beta launch here, if you're a supporter level, you get market updates whenever they're needed. So you get a market update from me. And as soon as something's become changed, I'll go back in and give you another market update for SPY and Qs. You get trigger charts for 9 to 12 tickers so that you can see twice a day, updated twice a day, so that you can see where the triggers and velocity are on the most traded tickers out there in the stock market. I think we do a mix of Mag 7 and then some, I think we do one or two shitcodes, a meme or two, and then we do some highly traded tickers like AMD and stuff like that. You also get access to the T3 scanner, the AI scanner for spec growth, tickers that are about to make explosive moves to the upside. You get basic Discord access. Inside of that basic Discord access, you've got all those trainers in there, coaches are in there, alpha providers are in there. You've got direct access to the team. We have support, live support 24, or try to do it 24 hours a day. And then you also get access to premium bots and alerts in that Discord as well. So I know that that's not offered all over the internet. Everywhere you got to pay like 100, 200, 500, 600 bucks for that. Just so you know, I used to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to be in Discords. So I already know what you guys have out there. I already know that maybe not all of you, but I've already been a payer of those Discords, and I know for a fact that $30 versus the hundreds and thousands I was paying it's basically free. So you get access to all those bots. You also get access to the Twitch chat. You get an indicator, daily pivot indicator, rather than just getting the levels every day on the website. You get something that auto plots for you with Fibonacci and traditional pivots. You get access to the T3 educational videos. On the pro subscriber trader, you get the actual indicator suites. You get early release on any beta indicators as well. You get pro updates, which is you get huge drops every day. Market updates written, you get them. You guys have probably noticed already, right? And then the weekends, you get a big data dump. You get your gamma levels for SPX as well there. You get your trigger charts, your market updates, your basic Discord, and all that other stuff. You get the T3 bull bear alert as well. I think we got some cool crypto stuff coming too. I think Quinn was saying that he's got a bunch of like high speed crypto tools. If any of you guys are watching right now and you like crypto, that rollout is going to be insane. Insano. I don't know if you guys know much about Q, but he's done a lot of work with a lot of I'm not going to name names here, but a lot of the crypto traders on FinTwit. Q has done a ton of work for them in the past, and this guy's got all the bangers. Like, he's got the banger tools. So you'll be seeing that rolling out here in the future. He's been crazy busy right now, but we're looking forward to that as well. Push that over for you right there. I do it now. Is it going to let me now? Oh, there we go. There we go. I can change it now. No, I just wanted to say previous. So I feel so much better now. Whew. Oh, Chase, dude, did you close your Chase? He's here. Are you going to... Dude, did you close this morning? Or are you going to hold your diamond hand? And you're like me. You're pulling a Jim James right now, bro. Meow. Oh, man, they're squeezing, baby. We're getting the creepy crawly. It's 3:31 right now. We're getting the creepy crawly up into the close here. We're starting it right now. Oh, man. The real pain out there. Some risk coming off BYD right now. Apple's looking bullish. Watch out if you're against Apple right now. NVDA grinding up into the close. Tesla ready for a squeeze, baby. Tesla about to squeeze some faces off. Oh, dude, Tesla. Tesla looking really, really saucy right now. It's just hammering on that hourly trigger. Hammering on that hourly trigger. Do we really hit 510? Even if we do, they're not paying your calls. Even if we do, they don't pay those calls. You gotta more in the money. You gotta be savvy. They could drop us. They could drop us and it would never shock me to be like wham wham, burn all your calls. Dealers come in like little gremlins, take all your money away from you. Let's see what else we got. What else we got here? Hard. So the Bears have hard BDSM music. We also have hard underground techno. That might be for the Bulls here. Let's see what this sounds like. Oh, that's big. That's big music. We also got deep techno beats. Various house beats. We got cyborg tapes and robot rock. They get the body oil going. Oh, dude, Ronnie Size would be badass. You guys want to turn some music on? Let me get some lights going. Hold on. Look at those angry bear lights. Look at those angry bear eyes behind me. Stripper lights. How do I do this? How do I work these things? Let's see what we got going on here. stuff's starting to change color. Spin that bad boy. Should we turn the crazy lights on? I got a bunch of crazy lights. Hold on here. We'll do a bunch of crazy lights here. Might as well, right? End of the month. So we can get some jams going here. You guys ready for it? Hold on a second here. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna catch the. We're not gonna get any money today from. We're gonna lose all of our. We're gonna get demonetized today. Okay. If we're gonna go big, we might as well go real big. We're getting demonetized today. I apologize.
Slap the test, motherfucker. Motherfucker, slap the test. Slap the test, motherfucker.
We gotta give it a better spin.
Slap the test. Slap the test, motherfucker. Motherfucker, slap the test.
Motherfucker, slap that ass. Slap that ass, motherfucker. 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 Motherfucker, slap that ass. Motherfucker, slap that ass. Slap that ass, motherfucker. Motherfucker, slap that ass. Slap that ass, motherfucker. Motherfucker, slap that ass. Slap that ass, motherfucker. Motherfucker, slap that ass.
I got Burry behind me and all blue right now. He's getting more angry. Back to white again. Hold on. I'm getting like blasted out here with. I don't want to continue to get demonetized here. I'm in so much trouble. One of these days they're just gonna kick me off. And turn the lights back on. We're gonna calm it down a little bit again. So much trouble. I got like Binky's probably Binky's at home right now. He's like the editor. He's like, I fucking hate you, Cap. So he's gonna have to go back in and cut all this part of the stream out. I'm probably gonna get blown up right now by Binky. Hold on. We'll put the DMCA free music back on again. We'll calm it down a little bit here as we climb the wall of worry. What do we got? We got Robot Rock, Cyborg Tapes. What is all this stuff? Oh, let's try this one. Cyborg Tapes. Is this any good? Nah. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. Well, why is that so loud too? Pushing the boundaries of the stream. Let's try intelligent techno. This is where bulls think they're smart and bears make fun of them. Nah, I don't like that either. Let me see what else we got here. House beats, bass boosted trap, pink and funky. Oh, yeah, there we go. What is that? That's okay. That'll play well in the back. Climbing the wall of worry. Spy now trading 50862. Slap that ass up there, please. Slap that ass. 341 right now. Watch out for a pullback up as we come up here. You want to be careful of some kind of a... Oh, you want to see it, right? You want to see it, right? Slap that ass. Give us the rest of it. I don't like that music. I think the Bears might have better music than the Bulls. Let's try that one. I have a list too. I printed a list. I don't know where the list is. You know what we could do? You want to get in some real trouble? How much trouble can I get into here? Can I get into like a ton of trouble here? I don't know. What do you guys think? Can I get in like big trouble? Like how bad is the demonetization? Like is the can I get kicked off YouTube? If I play like music, stuff like that, do they kick me off YouTube? I don't know. If I play copyrighted music, do I get like busted? Like freeze. Let me find out. Let me ask the producer. Can I get in trouble if I play like copyrighted music? They just take their ad revenue for the day. I can play that, right? So much trouble.
I show up pussy hot as Mac.
You guys want to see feet?
Little bitch, I'm from the north side. If you see me and you tryna...
You guys want to see my feet?
He wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck. Bitch looking bad and got a stupid butt. Jewelry on your wrist, fucking hold it up. When I holla ski, that me pull up. Car sitting fine and they fast as fuck. I'm looking good when I'm hopping out that truck. Where the hood niggas that they get them bucks. Bitches big, sexy, I'm the chosen one. I drop a bag on your...
I'm in so much trouble.
And I got them shooters in the cut, they got... Put my little nigga on your ass, he gon' blam something. You know I swear that bitch like a NASCAR. I like Hellcat, start off the line and make the engine part. Don't put on
Happy end of the month.
nigga, I'ma break your heart. Young turn bitch, when I pull up, that's when the party start. In the booty club, standing on the couch, throwing beats. Better respect me, bitch, my people's in the cut with them things. Wifey got me icy, now my chain hit like blau bling. In New York, with my partners, we be jamming, I mean. If you see me and you tryna see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck. Bitch looking bad and got a stupid butt.
Watch SPX down here. This is the same place they sold before up here. Wrong one. Right here. NVIDIA squeezing, blasting right now. Tesla just trying to get all built up right now. I'm in so much trouble. we should relax a little bit, right? We had a long week. It's been a crazy week. Look at it, still says that I'm on break. It's like crawling around across the screen. He's on break right now. He's playing some music. Nito, California, saying every time I hear NVIDIA, I die a little bit. Let's give some shout-outs today. I'm going to try to give some shout-outs today. We're going to do some shouting out today. I'm going to give some shout-outs to people that have become members. I'm going to try my best here. I might miss some of you. If you've become a supporter or better, you are the people that are going to make this stuff keep going on. So I'm going to shout your names out today. I'm going to try. Bear with me if I miss anybody. I want to give a shout out to Joe Donut for sure, Bork, Binky, Q, for always believing that we can take this to a sustainable thing. I want all of you to know that's a part of our community, even in our conversations behind closed doors, that we are constantly geared towards helping you and not ourselves. Those are real conversations. I can assure you that you can meet these guys and ask them how we talk behind closed doors, and it is the same as in public. I also want to give a shout out to David AMS for making the jump with us and sticking around that Discord to get it jump started really nice. So David AMS, if you're out there, thank you too. Trader Podcast, same thing to you. Any of the old mods and admins that are still around as we roll you in, I want to thank all of you. Just stand by as we roll people into the program here. So that's all admins, mods, across the board, anywhere out there. We want to give some more shout-outs to John L., Raveology, to Rob SFO, to Blind Nest Owl. Career Low just got on board. I know there's some other guys out there right now that have been asking. Mr. Talking Monkey, I'm working on you. I'm working on Jimmy Berry as well on YouTube. So I'll be getting with you guys as time moves forward. But I want to really thank the members of our community as we squeeze higher right now. I want to thank the members of our community. People have been here since day one. Continue to support what we're doing. 3 years. I want to say thank you specifically to Big Balls, David M., Foxy, GTR Bait, Joe Santos, Ken 987-567-54321, King Cow Baby, KT.SB, Mervio, M. Zunga, Nate, Phone On. Hey, Phone On, Trip, where are you? Alpine Trip, where are you? I love you, man. If you're kicking around, I love you, brother. Thank you very much. These are all pro traders, by the way, people that are throwing it down right now. POC, Riding the Gnar, R. Lynn, Sean, Solutron, Yields to the Moon, Babka Dude, Beartown Sheriff, Billy Ray, Brandon, Bull for Trade and Bullshite, Bubble Don, Classy Dan, Dr. Gunn, Elisa, Flamin' Duck, Freddy, H-Bomb, baby, Hero Call, I am Doug Fuller. Thank you very much, my man. Good to see you, brother. Jill Natolo, Stacy, John 3075, Joseph B, Just John Kalamath, Manverse, Minoraz, Mr. Patel, baby, Nimble Bias, Not About the Money, Oda, Nubunga, Pie Hawker, Poke Juice Box, Remarkable Unicorn, Rickle 66, Roy, Stalin, Rye Goody, Sung, Stacky Chan, Steve M1N1. If you're out there, I love you, man. Super Gal, Talking Monkey, the Chiba, TLG, Webby. Woo. I got a bunch more to do here, and none of them are here right now. I got like a list. Addie, Alpha Wolf, Andre, Aurora, Autumn Skies, AW221, Blue 13, Matt, Bonabinsky, BS2324, Bull Bear Cannot Be Helped, Canuck Mobile, Captain TJ, Captain Shonsky, Clay 10, C Tazo, Darth Molly, Dave IE, Dr. CS, Dr. Stitt, Dr. Sick, Dustin, EJ, El Guato, E Trading Shorts, out there. Same to you, brother. Frankie Four Fingers, Freddie Stacks again, H-Bomb, Hepcap, Harushi. Dude, this list is on and on and on. Gene Dorian, Jen Almighty, Jerhoff, Joe Rock, Joey A5658, Johnny on the Spot, Jose Laura, Maggie Dewbear, Nettie Confetti, NP Cruiser, Pico 036, Permabil Tom, Podcast, Trader, Podcast, Polish Prince, Prophets and Henry, Remarkable Unicorn, SN, Supahash Satoshi, Tearing It Up, Thurston Howell the Third, Trader G, Vinny Cruz, Wolf, Exquisite, Young Trader. I can't even get through them all. As we squeeze up, if you didn't hear your name, I apologize. If you're a supporter on just the chat, thank you for being here today. Make yourself known if you're not a supporter, but I don't know, you sign up on Amazon Prime or something so I can give you a shout out. Thank you for supporting our community. Thank you very much. Climbing the wall of worry into the close today. SPY now trading 50908. Where are we going? Where are we going? Tell me in the chat. Are we going burr? Give me a burr in the chat, please. There, I gave you some burr. I did my own burr in the chat. There you go. Climbing the wall, worry, baby. Slamming in to this supply to the upside. Slamming into it. Woo! I think we got everybody for today. I'm so, dude, we haven't even launched. I'm so excited, dude. You guys are fucking awesome. Apple got bird too. Did Tesla squeeze up yet or no? Retro Mitch saying QQQ top is in right now. Beyond Meat not doing anything. They've been pushing that ticker for 2 days on CNBC. SPY now touching 5100, the pin on the marketplace. NVDA with a squeeze. Squeeze on Tesla, baby. Tesla got a squeeze up to 201.82. Looking to rip faces off into the close. BYND ain't doing shit. That's one of those CNBC things, isn't it? Rivian moving down. Didn't we see some puts or calls on Rivian this morning or this afternoon? I think there was some put buying on the bot inside the Discord. I saw something on Rivian. 201.79 right now on Tesla. Tesla squeezing up right now. Now trading 201.89, 201.85 into the bell. 6 minutes left. Tesla just moving into the close. Come on, IWM. Just squeeze into Monday, baby. Or tomorrow. IWM's setting up nicely for tomorrow. IWM's looking real hot right now. Apple squeezing and breaking down off, smashing off its hourly trigger. Apple can't put it together. We got IWM then looking sexy. Are we going to get the meme stonks and the shitcos tomorrow, ripping face on Friday, or what? Does everybody have their 0-date Fridays set up, ready to go? You guys are we going to do tech shitco companies all day Friday where we just party and rip faces off? Let me know in the chat. SPOOs now trading 509.14, baby. SPOOs now climbing the wall of worry to the upside. Where are we going? SPY now trading 509.45. Keep on going, baby. Where's that previous market high? Get me all the way up there. We got 5 minutes left. Earlier today, we talked about when the market is going down into the end of the month to expect big moves to the downside. Where are we going right now at the end of a month? We are squeezing to the moon. Burr, baby, burr. Good to be back. I love you too, Runswen. Good to be back, baby. Woo! Get old squeeze up. Give me that 509.46. Get me up to that 510.20. What's going on out there, baby? Consider joining us at tradethetrigger.com. You can even sign up just for free. You don't have to pay nothing. It's free. Tradethetrigger.com. Hang out. Become a part of the community as we grow. Have a say in how we grow. I love it. For the dude, retail for retail, man. It's going to be so fucking awesome. I'm so stoked. Trading 509.57 just then. What's up, Trader Podcast? Love these days. SPOOs now trading 509.69, 509.74, 509.66. Can we get up there? Did any of you see this going up there just now? Did you get in the money calls to go up there right now? SPOOs on a high just then, trading a top tick at 509.73. Woo! You should have made your money right then and there. There you go. Now trading 507.71. Give me 510.20, please. Take it over the top. Top ticket, baby. Top ticket. 3 minutes left. 2 minutes. Oh, they're not going to do it. 2 minutes left into the close here. Pain trade on for the Bears, baby. Pain trade on. Qs, they just threw down an NVDA up there too on supply at 5,100 on SPX. What happened to Tesla? Tesla squeezing up to a top of 202.20 into the close. IWM just chilling back here like, take me home, baby. Look at that. Look, IWM did trade 204.33 for a moment, but they didn't get that sexy high from this morning, did they? They didn't get that 206.37. Are they set up for Friday rips? Are we set up for Spec Growth Tech to rip on Friday? Don't forget, tomorrow is Zero Date Tech Friday. We will have tomorrow Vol Wiz on. He is famous for creating that party time on Fridays with zero dates. So we'll see him tomorrow at 3 p.m. We're going to call it the Miller Light the Miller Light Hour on Fridays. And we're going to get his take on a bunch of the we're going to get his take on Volmageddon. We're going to get his take. Look at this stuff after the bell now. We're going to get his take on, hopefully, Volmageddon, the new Vol. Everyone has their own terms for it, but the new Vol regime in the market right now. And we're also going to talk about the seasonal weakness divergence that's going on with the S&P 500. Do we get the slow roll down? Do we get the really fast roll down? How violent is it? Where does it go? Do we get the 4% to the upside to 525, 535? And then the pull down to 490 so we don't revisit the trough below. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. for that discussion. I will see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Let me grab a drink or something, and I will meet you all in, oh, look at that. Woohoo! Look at that rage. Look at that rage right there. Look at that rage after the bell. Someone came in dropping a bomb in here. We know we have hedge funds watching this show. You know, you might not know that. We have hedge funds that watch this show because we reach known 6,000 people a day, but we know that we're being rebroadcast elsewhere. So we're probably at like 10,000 retail traders a day. So if you're in a hedge fund room right now, was that you? Was that what's his name? That might have been that might have been our boy what's his face? I forget. I'm having a mind block right now. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna grab a beer, and I'll meet you in the Discord in the Risk Off room, and we can chat. If you guys want to talk about stuff that's not market related, I'll stop in the Risk Off room. Let's get to know each other. It doesn't have to be like stocks all day long, guys. We can hang out and like get to know each other outside of the stock market. So let's try to do that. Let's try to hook back up in about an hour in the Risk Off channel in the Discord. And I'll get with you guys in a little bit. Later. Oh, how do we do the later part? I don't even know how to do. Oh, here's the later part.